Hey everyone, it's Lean from ColoradoLean.com. Welcome back to the craft room. Today it's a kind of a blustery, cloudy day, so I thought I would make something with some bright spring colors. So we're going to start off with some Bristol Strathmore Bristol Vellum surface paper. I'm going to be working with Distress Inks in Mustard Seed, Rusty Hinge, and Crackling Campfire. So let's go ahead and get started. I just have a piece of 5.5 by 5.5 Strathmore paper here. And I'm going to be working with my Waffle Flower blending brushes. I love these things, by the way. So we're just going to do a really simple and quick ink blend. And I've never really been very good with my ink blending. I need to practice a lot more to get better at it. I think that's something that, like with everything, the more you do it, the better you are. And I really don't do a whole lot. So this is a little bit of an adventure for me, a break out of what I typically do. So we'll see how it goes today. So I'm going to start off with mustard seed. And then I'm going to put in some Rusty Hinge. And it looks like I may need to start ordering some re-inkers. I've had these inks for quite a while. I do want to try and get a really deep color in here, but the idea that I have, I don't really need it to be completely solid or anything like that. I'm going to try and do a little bit of a blend here, and this is usually where my ink blending goes awry. Okay, now we'll bring in a little bit of the Crackling Campfire on the bottom. And because I don't want to get my fingerprints anywhere on here, I'm going to use a little sticky note to kind of hold things down a bit. This is a newer ink pad, so it's a little bit juicier than the other two. We'll bring in a little bit of Rusty Hinge, a little bit more, I should say. I'll blend those together a little bit. And maybe a little bit more of the mustard seed. I absolutely love this yellow color. It is so pretty. Okay. That should do for now. Okay, I'm going to move this aside for just a second, and I have some color down here and a couple extra pieces of Strathmore card. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray this down and then try and collect some of this extra color. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and set these aside to dry. And I'll wipe up the rest of this. Now the other thing I wanted to try is I wanted to try a little bit of this Mica Spray. This one is Antique Bronze. It is a very pretty color. Shake that up a bit. Okay, and I have most of the color off the bottom, so that should work out fine. I'm going to go ahead and get a little box to spray in. Because I really don't want this stuff all over the desk. Just go ahead and set that in there. Paper's folding up a little bit there. So we'll set that in there and just give it a couple little spritz. Something like that should be fine. Okay, and then I'm just going to set this aside to dry for a few minutes, and I will be right back. Okay, so our mica spray has finally dried. I don't know if you can catch that on the camera, but it is really beautiful. I love the extra little shine it gives. So for the next part of our card, we're going to be using the Tim Holtz Stacked Tiles Hexagon dies. There are 5 sets of them, and we're going to be using the second from the smallest. So I'm going to line these up on my magic mat from scrapbook.com. Another amazing tool. If you don't have it, you need to get it. And I'm just going to stack these up on here. I'm going to get some of each color, and of course I'm going to have to come back in and get some more of the yellow, but if you'll excuse me, I'm going to run off camera for a moment. Okay, so I ran these through my Sizzix Big Shot twice so I could get plenty of these. I'm not sure exactly how many I'm going to need. I'm going to keep this for another portion of this. And just to give this a little bit of definition, I'm going to use Distressed Ink Scorched Timber, which is my favorite dark color now. And I'm going to use the Waffle Flower shader brush. This is number 0. And I'm just going to go around the edge of each of these little pieces so that it just stands out a little bit from the cardstock, from the white cardstock base that we're going to use. Now, I certainly don't mind that this is a little bit on the messy side because, you know, it is a distress product. So a little bit of the smoky edge is fine. And I'm just going to go ahead and speed through this part for you so you don't have to sit there and watch me do all of these. Okay, that took a hot minute to finish, but we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and set these aside and let the ink dry thoroughly before we mess with our white card base. I'm going to go ahead and do the sentiment now for the card, and I'm going to utilize the rest of this card here, because it is so pretty not to. So I'm just going to cut a little piece off here. And I'm going to line this up in my Mini Misty. Get that into frame. And I'm going to use the Kaiser Craft Occasion stamp set. It has Happy Birthday, Happy Father's Day, Happy Mother's Day, and Happy Birthday. I'm not sure exactly how long I've had this stamp set in my stash, but it's been a long time. We're going to go ahead and line that up. And then I'm going to use Gina K Amalgam ink for this. I have re-inked this with Obsidian ink, the color Obsidian. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this real fast. And the best thing about the Mini Misty and the original Misty is if it's not perfect, you can easily restamp it. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And I'm going to get out my Tim Holtz Mini Guillotine Trimmer. Again, I love this thing. Everything Tim Holtz is amazing. So I'm just going to trim this down just a little bit. Let's see, I'll do it this way. I'm going to try and get everything lined up, but once again, it's a little bit crooked. Well, then you know it's from me. Just going to carefully line this up. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So again, let's see, where's my brush? I will just do a little bit of this scorched timber around the edge, just so it matches with the rest of the tiles. And again, I'm fine if there are some brush marks up here on the yellow part. Because it is definitely a distress. There. Just like that. Okay. Now for the card base, I'm doing just regular A2 size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This panel here is cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4, and this is what I'm going to create my card base on. And I'm going to use a 0 center ruler from clubscrap.com. Again, I've had this in my stash for quite a few years. And I'm just going to kind of line things up where I want them. So I'm going in 1/4 inch on the side, and then my first tile, the corner is going to be a 1/2 inch down, and then on this side it'll be a 1/2 inch up. So we'll see how this works. And I'm going to glue this down with art glitter glue, and I just put it in a smaller container like that. Okay, so let's see. Half an inch down, we'll get that down there. And these reverse tweezers, these are amazing. I got this pair, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. So they are the Singer Sewing Machine brand. Okay. We've got those down. And then I'm going to come over on the other side, go 1/4 of an inch in, and then I'm going to start laying out my tile. Let's see. Do this right. Okay. We'll take a deep red one here. Okay, so that's how we're going to start it. And then we're just going to lay these out approximately 1/4 of an inch or so apart. Okay, so I lost a couple tiles there, but I've tracked him down. So we're just going to kind of lay these out approximately how I want them on the card before I start gluing things down. So I think that's going to look kind of nice, and then we'll put the happy birthday right in the middle. So we'll go ahead and get these glued down. I'm curious to know what your favorite adhesive is. Do you like art glitter glue? Are you on the Barely Art Glue fan club these days? I haven't used that, but I've heard a lot of people really like that. So yeah, let me know down in the comments which one you prefer, or if you have another favorite wet adhesive that you like to use. I'm always open to new ideas, new crafty things. I'm trying to stay in camera here. This is the first time I've ever created a card online with the camera running, so just a little nervous here. So we'll go ahead and get these glued down. We'll see how things turn out when I get done. I'm also curious if you're a huge Tim Holtz fan. I have a lot of his products. I think my favorite are his guillotine trimmers and his 12-inch rotary cutter. I started off with Tim's 12-inch guillotine trimmer, and while I liked it, it made me nervous. So when he came out with that rotary trimmer, I jumped on it right away. Okay, so there's that. It's a little off, but that's all right. I'm okay with that. And then I have the happy birthday to go there in the middle. I think yeah, I'm going to use some thin 3D foam squares from Scrapbook Adhesive. I don't use a lot of foam dots because the majority of my cards go in the mail and I don't like things getting too big. So we'll put some of these on here. Another question I have for you. Are you the type of crafter that just puts foam dots on either end, or are you like me and you go just a little bit potentially overboard? One thing I don't like is when I only use a couple of foam dots and then the center of the project sags. Not a fan of that. So I'm going to line this up a little bit. And of course, this is another area where my cards tend to be a little crooked, but I think my family and friends almost expect that now. There. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I really like that. So I just have a white card base, and you know what? I think I kind of like that. The white on white. Although I might find a larger brush and put a little bit of the scorched timber around the edges here just for a little bit more definition and to kind of match in with everything else. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. If you'll give me one moment, I'm going to find a bigger brush to use. I'll be right back. Okay, I finally found my Heartfelt Creations Stack and Store Daubers. It's a pack of 6. It's not a whole lot bigger, but it's a little bit bigger. So it should make this a little faster. And probably a little bit cleaner than the little dauber. Okay, we're just about done. And again, it's a little bit on the messy side, but then again, we'll call it a little bit of a distressed card. How's that sound? Okay, so we've got that. Get this put away. And let's see, I think I will use some more of the art glitter glue to glue this down. And again, I don't know if I use too much adhesive, not enough adhesive. I just want to make sure that my cards are not going to fall apart. So we'll go ahead and line this up again. Make sure it opens right. Okay. Okay, and there we go. Is a distressed happy birthday card. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me, and if you like the card, let me know what Let me know what you like best in the comments below. And a like and a subscribe would be amazing. And I will see you on the next time. Bye.